Hi, this is Dan from Millsit, and this is a brief overview about the DNS system and specifically how a website, or when you go on your average PC or laptop, and how you're able to bring up websites and what happens in the DNS system of a lookup. DNS stands for Domain Name System. It's been around for a very long time, and we use it for absolutely everything on the internet and local area networks and wide area networks. Um, we have IP version 4 and IP version 6 addresses, which sit inside DNS, and lots of different types of records. Big database. I'm going to go through on the screen here what happens in this example of you're on a PC called PC1 and you want to bring up Instagram.com. I really drawn this out to make it a bit more simple and a quicker video. So we're on PC1 and you want to get to Instagram. So what happens is your PC here has got a local lookup file, which is a text document normally on the Windows PC. And at the moment, it doesn't know where Instagram is. It takes its root out of the PC and it goes to the router, which is either in your office or at your home. Most offices routers will have internal DNS servers, but mostly consumers, when we think about a home setup, it won't have an internal DNS server. It will have a cache, but actually has to go off to your ISP to get its DNS record. So PC1, trying to get Instagram. We go up to R1, which is our home router. Doesn't know where Instagram is. It sends it to the next hop, which is your ISP. In this case, it's BT. Okay, it goes to BT. BT's actually got many DNS servers in the UK, obviously, because it's an ISP. And in this case, BT have pushed information or pushed the channel communication to BT3, which is a DNS server for that ISP. So we go down here. BT3 still doesn't know where Instagram.com is. So it has to go off to a global DNS server, and in worldwide, I believe there is 13 global DNS root servers at the moment, and 2 of them, if not one, operates within the UK. BT3 sends its request to a global root DNS server, asking where Instagram.com is, and in this case, it knew what it was. It knew from a global DNS server where Instagram.com resides, and it resides on this IP address, which it's not, by the way. This is one I've used for this demonstration: 212.16.13.46. Most probably Instagram.com is hosted on multiple servers dotted around the globe in a cloud environment of some sort. But because the global DNS server has a history in its database where Instagram resides, it sends back to BT3 that IP address, and then BT3 goes back down to R1. R1 caches that information of Instagram.com pointing at this IP address down here, and R1 sends the information back down to PC1, which stores in a little text document called the lookup file or the local host file on PC1, the IP address 212.16.13.46 at record, a record, Instagram.com. We call it A records, and we also call them pointer records. And essentially it says Instagram.com can be found at that IP address 212.16.13.46, and when you open up your browser and you're able to browse to that, Instagram.com comes up, and this happens very, very quickly, milliseconds. If, for example, Instagram.com just got launched 2 minutes ago and no one knew where it was, well, the global DNS root server wouldn't know where it was either. So when we register websites these days, we go to our host. So say, for example, we use GoDaddy, which I've got over here called GD. And I go to GD, which is GoDaddy is a US-based hosting provider, but you can buy domain names worldwide from them. And they act also as a DNS host, but they are a registrar. So I can go to GoDaddy and buy a domain name. And I've just bought Instagram.com magically. And my ISP will automatically give it a record of where the website resides. So I could go along and set up my websites and get it designed very quickly. And GoDaddy is my host, and it's holding a DNS file or DNS zone file of where the website resides. And in this case, where the global DNS root server didn't know where Instagram.com was, it will then send a request to GoDaddy and say, where is Instagram.com? And it knows where it is because that GoDaddy, in this case, is what we call the SOA, which stands for the State of Authority. And they are the main record holder or the master record holder of Instagram.com and the IP address or the IP addresses that we want to dictate to our domain name, Instagram.com. Any changes you made to Instagram.com, such as more websites or subdomains or extra web servers which are going to host that domain name, we make the changes here on GoDaddy. And GoDaddy would feed the information back to a global DNS server, depending where you are worldwide, which then serves each ISP, which then serves regions and then offices, homes, etc., etc. That is how DNS works in terms of looking up a simple website in IP version 4 or IP version 6, and it works extremely well. I hope that's been of some benefit. Don't hesitate to get in contact if you need further information on the domain name system and how other records work as well.